Let's understand the political, environmental, socio-cultural and the legal barriers, that is PESL, PESL, PESL. These are the factors that shape the public relations, how they have to deal on these four grounds. So when we talk of business environment, because we are dealing with not just one nation but with multiple nations, we speak of the special analysis. The very first P, that stands for polity. Now what is the meaning of political environment that we have to face? Political environment is, say for example, the government setup, not for example, but the government setup that's there within a nation. In the last so many years, we have a certain ruling party which overtook a pre-existing ruling party. So the policies made with that party will definitely change with the new party in presence. The new party will have his or her way of working, his or own policies, his or her thought processes to make the nation a better place to stay, or for the nation to have the right kind of import and exports. So when a nation is politically stable, when the government is strong, when it has control over whatever is needed, when it controls major entities, like we have the Indian Railways. The government is the whole sole owner of Indian Railways. Yes, there are talks of it going to the privatized sectors, but that is because it's not making enough profits. Then the best as an example, your VST buses. Again, a government-owned organization, right? So these things, when they are stable, when the government is stable, it means that politically the country is very stable. Now, if we talk of, say for example, Oman or Muscat, they have the leadership of a king still. So whatever the king decides, that's how their policies change. So if the king dies and his son takes over, so his son will have a new set of policies, will change the existing laws. So we can say that this is not a very strong nation to bank upon, because when one will go, the other person will come up with his or her own strategy. So politically the country is stable, the PR can be worked effectively. Second, E stands for the economy. Naturally, when the politically country is stable, when a country is politically stable, its economy also will be a strong economy, because there is no fluctuations happening. Certain policies have been listed, how the trading will happen with the help of trade blocks, what is a credit policy, what is a debit policy, what will be the interest rates, what will be the housing loan rates. Everything is decided by the government. So naturally, in terms of the to and fro of money, is also going to be stable. So that is the economical environment that the country deals with. So when politically country is stable, in most cases economically also it's going to be stable. Then the third one is socio-cultural. That's a very important criteria which we'll discuss it in detail. But just to give you a gist of it, what is the meaning of socio-cultural? The social class or the social lifestyle of a person, or the cultural background values that he or she gets, will define what my socio-cultural environment is all about. The best example is to understand that in India only, we are divided in 4 parameters or 5 parameters: North India, South India, the East of India, the West of India, and the Central India. Now these 5 zones of our country have differences in terms of their food habits, in terms of their wearing habits, primarily also because of the weather conditions. Now North is too cold, or it has extreme temperatures, too cold, too hot, right? Whereas South, because it's closer to the equator, most of the time it's a warm kind of a climate. So in the north of India, people will have a lot of woolen wear, a lot of furry wear during the cold season, and during the hot season they will have cotton wear. Whereas, so they have 2 seasons, so their clothing will change. But with the South Indians, more or less all through the year they have a warm season, so they'll have more of cotton wear. And that's why we see, if we talk in terms of their attire, we see that the South Indians prefer, like the males prefer wearing lungis, right? Why? Because they're very cool, comfortable, easy to carry. Whereas in North India, people probably would prefer wearing jeans or leggings or proper pants. Why? Because they have to wear a certain formal wear inside it and some more protective layer over it. Right? Now when we talk of the west of India, that's primarily, let's talk about Mumbai. So Mumbai has 3 seasons in general: the summer, winter and the rains. So we have the rainy kind of wear also. We use a lot of umbrellas, we use a lot of wind cheaters. We have, because of the winters not being too extremes, we have light woolen kind of clothes. And for summers, we also wear cotton clothes. So if we compare just the 3 of them, naturally our clothing preferences are different. When we discuss in detail about social culture, we'll understand other parameters also of how we are different from each other. So from PES, and the last one is legal. Legal means all the laws or the constitution has laid down the rights and duties, what they govern and how they govern the public department. So let's take an example of understanding RTI. When we said that RTI was launched in 2005, it's one of the legal frameworks within which a citizen falls. So under this RTI, as a citizen of India, I have certain rights because I'm a citizen of India. So legally, we have a set frame of network that we have to follow, and that's how the legal setup or a legal environment of organization, of any environment of a nation depends on, and that's how the PR also has to function. It has certain statutory laws that it has to mention. Say for example, it has to have a certain leave policy, alright, under the legal framework. It can't just say that outrightly today I'm going to remove one of my employees. It has to give 1 month notice period or 3 months notice period, whatever is stated while forming that organization when the policies are laid. So you have to follow it. Otherwise, under legal matters, the employee can take the organization to court, saying that in the policy they had written 1 month of notice period needs to be served, and today they are outrightly terminating. Or if they're terminating me, what are such serious allegations that they have to outrightly terminate? So that falls under the legal parameter, and that's how we understand the PESN. It is political environment, your economical environment, your socio-cultural environment, and your legal. Now let's understand the socio-cultural, which is very important and crucial for organization to understand in order to ensure that there is a longer continuity in the business world. In socio-cultural differences, broadly, there are very many points, but we'll just stick to a few points that will help us understand what are the social and cultural differences. The very first thing starts with understanding the demographic. Now, what is this demographic? The age, your gender, your income status, your locality where you stay, the tastes and preferences that belong to your family. Now, these are demographic profiles that segregate a person. So, as we discussed earlier also, females, the ones who fall in the teens, probably from the age of 13 till 19, the teens, they have a different set of taste and preference, the kind of clothes they wear probably, they're entering into a maturity status probably in those periods. So the bodily functions also change, how they evolve, how they grow. Versus somebody who is crossed 50, same life, would not probably want to wear jeans t-shirt, not being stereotype, but with a certain age, you get comfortable with certain kind of dressing. Okay, then late 20s and early 30s. Okay, somewhere between 25 to 35, when you just started working in an organization. You would like to wear more of professional clothes, more of Western outfits, more of Indian professional outfits, right? So your preferences at that point in time are different. When you're going in school as a kid, you probably would be satisfied with a vada pav or dosa or something. When you start working, McDonald's, CCD, Barista, then when you grow to a certain class, you probably would go to high-end restaurants. You don't believe in quick meals, they don't satisfy you. So with age, the preferences are changing socially and culturally. Then we can think about how the family makes a lot of difference. whether you come from a joint family or you come from a nuclear family. Now, joint family means you are staying 7 of y'all, 8 of y'all, or probably in earlier days, there used to be brothers living together. So, 4 brothers, their wives, their kids, and these 4 brothers, mother and father. So, imagine that they used to be in such a joint family kind of a concept. So when you come from such background, naturally you would like attachments, you would like people around. And say for example the latest atom families or the singular families where it's just the mother, father and 1 kid. Now though it's not even 2 kids, it's 1 kid kind of a format. So naturally the 3 of them's perception is going to be restricted to 3 of them. When talk of joint family, a decision is made on behalf of everybody. So what probably the head of the family decides is what everybody has to do. But with a 3-person family or with a 4-person family, probably what the father decides or probably what the mother decides is going to be a smaller decision. So based on your family background also it depends. Then based on how you perceive time, somebody who is very punctual will probably not like somebody who is late. So if I am serving a certain service, I'm selling a certain service as a PR, what I have to make sure that I am giving it on time to the customers who are there on time. I can't say I'll open my shop at so and so and you can walk in here. So these are the socio-cultural differences in general when we discuss about the various kind of environments that the PR has to deal with. Now we move to the 7th chapter of the theories associated with contact relations.